Good evening. This is the Elliott Wave daily update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Tuesday, November the 5th, 2024. While it was a very strong upside day for a pre-election results type of day or election day, and I'm not sure that everybody actually was expecting that. I know I was particularly looking for some additional downside, to be honest with you, to finish this uh, larger minute fourth wave. So I'm going to start on the hourly chart just to make this brief as we get ready to get our election results, and then likely follow through with whatever the direction they're going to need to take. Now, what I've come up with, because the strength of the rally brought the S&P back above, it's what I'm calling its comfort zone. Above 5,800 is its comfort zone. Above 5,800 starts to bring the market back out of the negative gamma atmosphere and more into a positive gamma atmosphere, and therefore starts to really ignite in terms of the risk on trade. So any trading that may have created risk off, I think gets reversed and they start putting risk on again. And that would be expected, and that would actually follow through on that. I'm looking for that minute fifth wave to go up. Now, having said that, what we got in front of us is what looks like an A, a B, and a C to put in a fourth wave. So coming off 1, 2, 3, 4, and we still have 5. 4 being within a regular B, not super heavy, but enough that it did put in an additional new low below that third wave. So I'm going to say A, B, because to me this is very three-wave-ish. So A, B, and then a C. So we get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so really kind of looking at it, because they're now beginning to take the market higher again. We have an additional level above here. But again, I don't want it to come above 58.34, or actually, let me get that exact, 58.35. Above that, 4 is overlapping wave 1. If that should occur, then I'm really would be forced to put that 4 down here. And this would turn into, we're looking for that minute wave 5 up, and this would be minuet wave 1. So that it would be the start of that rally. And kind of leads us to believe that it's like everyone's kind of considering that the market's going to react to an election result. And most, I think, are preparing for a downside move. And if indeed this kind of comes up and breaks that level, and I have to put the 4 here, it's going to change this whole scenario, and going to indicate to me that I'm bringing it back out to the 4-hour chart. It's going to indicate to me that we have 1, 2, 3, and now the 4 would come in here. And then we're starting on that fifth wave. And that move would be definitely expected to continue above 5,800, but get above 5,900 and start heading up to, and I put them in, once I can get that 4, a firm position on it, then I would add the fibs that would give us our levels up here. So at the moment, I continue to look for at least a test of a move above 6,000. And that also, again, starts to go back and fit us together with what the seasonal charts are suggesting, that the markets will produce a strong rally in the month of November into about mid-December. So if that still remains the case, as I've discussed, are there instances where the seasonal chart can be disrupted or thrown off? And it's like, of course. If there's something that's going to become geopolitical, or something that, just a result from the election where it forces the market just to tumble lower. And again, coming from our levels right now, if we turn and start breaking lower, we're going to go back below a lot of levels that will, like a volatility trigger. We're going through large gamma levels, and that's going to just produce additional selling. And once that begins, then it could be look out below. So once again, we're sitting at that crossroad. where either we've already got the low for this wave 4, and I'll take it back down to the hourly chart so we can see it, that we already have it, and that's it. And I'm not sure how I would look at this, because to me, it just looks like a bunch of threes. But if somehow I can work it out and get a 5 out of it, even, I mean, I've taken this down and I looked at it on a line chart. It just does not. That's A, B, C. So I'm leaving it as an ABC 4, and that suggests that we turn and we drop quickly. We drop very quickly in a fifth wave. Now we've seen these fifth waves and just come flying down. And I'm going to go back out to my bar chart, and I'm going to take it out again. Let's take a look at that 4-hour chart. And this was all within a C wave. So we're still looking for the finishing wave of that C wave. That was a C wave, and the fifth wave was a very strong downside move. Now here we had an ABC. There's the C wave, very strong downside move. And that one, that could fit more 55.85 and then all the way down to 54.50. So it was a 250 point, almost straight down move. 4-hour chart, but still very strong downside move. So here, very strong downside move. If I got a 200 point move, we'd be sitting at 56.24. Well, there's our markers. All right. 56.24. Well, there I'm looking for 2.618 coming down in the fifth wave. This fits perfectly. If we had this, boom, took us straight down, and then market bottoms and turns and goes, thank you, and just starts to rally, because that's what I would be expecting. Now, if we have a continued drop and they start breaking below 55.70, then we're back to that alternate that I have presented before, in which case we'd be looking for this minor wave 5 to be done up here. Now, that's not the case. Again, I'm leaving that on the shelf, but it is remaining as an alternate. But the market has to dictate. The market, I don't dictate to the market dictates to me. The market dictates to us what direction is going to be. And so, and it's just, that's the way it is. So even using Elliott can give us a little bit of a forecasting, like, well, this is a 4, we're looking for a 5. And I would suspect that the 5 could be really strong. If we break above 58.35. Actually, no, that would be right there, that A wave. If we break above, well, it is above. That's kind of interesting. So on this one, and that, okay. Let's go back down. I need to take a look, see what I'm talking about here. That, I'm not looking for the A wave, I'm looking for wave 1. So it's here. So this one, that was the difference. It's 58.40. Is it? Yes. No, 58.35 was right the first time. Sorry about that. So 58.35, and here we sit at 26. So we're close. We're close. And if we start invading wave 1, then that nullifies the wave 4. And again, then I would put the 4 here, and we're in the start of it. But I'm going to have to let the market tell me, because as far as I know, they could get it up to 58.40 and then turn it, and boom, and it just drops like a stone. You know, stranger things have happened, and I will figure it out. So once again, I'm going to leave it as is, where I have the 3, ABC 4, a little bit of an irregular. So even if I take a look at what it could be, if I'm looking this way, I think that's a little bit lower. So I'll go here, come on, here to here, down to here, and we're looking for that 1.618, 58.38 takes me above that level, which is why I did not put it up. Although, it wasn't a complete 1.236, right? Or 1.382, where wave B was to wave A. So again, it's a really tough call. But I'm going on the pattern, I'm going on the structure. And so I'm thinking that, okay, we should be done. But they're coming in and they're starting to buy it all up again. So one more time, it could just break it, and then we'll just shift that 4. Hopefully they're going to let me get this published and out before they do it. So I'm going to take that off, and then we'll leave it at that. The moving averages, I'm sure they kind of changed a little bit. We're going to move out to the daily and take a quick look at our moving averages. And right now you can see the way that this is kind of lining up. They're sitting, they've gotten their back above the 8 and the 20. 20 still kind of flat, the 50 still beginning to angle a little bit higher. So it was a solid move to the upside. Now it could reverse immediately and change the whole story. Change the whole story. And they just did it. They just, and the S&P broke. They're trading 34. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I will change that. I'm not going to do it right now, but I am going to change it. And I'm going to over and take a look at the NASDAQ. So it's gone up and equaled it. Let me take that back. It's gone up and equaled it. And now it's coming back down. Okay. So again, this has been a tough move. The volatility has been pretty strong. Now we're back at 34 and it just can't. This is 35. We're not quite breaking it. If they get up that close, I would just be like, what? But let's wait and see. Okay, let's go take a look at the NASDAQ. Let me get this published so that we all can chew on it a little bit. The one is way up here in the NASDAQ. The one is at 20,540. So, and it hasn't even really gone above today's sessions high, which was at 20,386. So we're still kind of fumbling around down here, although climbing back up. And one more time, they could get up to 20,461 and still be within a fourth wave. That's 1.618. Now, it's not an irregular. It actually should have come in pretty much a flat, but it didn't. So now we're racing. So couple of ways, same deal. Is this a 3, 4, 5? Possible, but again, it's very difficult for me to count that as 5 waves, as much it looks as very much same as 3. So now let's say A, B, and then we do have a 5 down to there, but it's very difficult. And it didn't even come close to making it, but it could have been a failure. If I had to, I would. So we're going to leave all that open, but still leaving open the potential that we're going to come down one more time. And let me just fill in those blanks that I'm leaving there for top side. I'm actually going to take it off because it can become very confusing. Because now I want to add 1 to 4, providing that high hold. And then what do we have coming off? 19,997, and that's not, yep, it is. So it would just put in a slight new low, and that would be enough. But then we could get down into here on a full pop down, depending on how severe or how hard they want. Okay, S&P now breaking above 58.35. So, yeah, the push is on. So I gotta wait for the NASDAQ, but to tell you the truth, it's just I gotta take that back off again. The 4 goes here, the 5 goes here, and we're 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and then we probably come down in a wave 2. So I need to get this out, guys, but so this is in motion as I'm speaking. So again, the S&P, I'm pretty much, it's all equaling it now. We'll see how high they want to push and then see what the reaction is going to be later. But right now, I got to leave it that we still probably have another downside unless they just really start to move and they get above 58.50 in the S&P. Up here, I mean, I literally have to see it above 20,790 to kind of like give me that C wave. And then we're in that wave 1. We're in that minute wave 5 up to new all-time highs again to complete it, and then and then also complete the intermediate third. What do we got in terms of numbers coming out tomorrow? Let me just before I do that, excuse me, let me take a look at the moving averages on the daily chart. Right now, it came down today, broke it to 50 on the daily, but recaptured it, finished very cleanly, finished above the 20, finished above the 8, now holding above the 20 and holding above the 8. That's a more positive sign that the 5 is going to end up here. And the 4 is going to end up here. And with that being the case, then we're looking for this to shift and go over here. Right there. Well, actually, right there. And so here we have 21,220. And that is where 5 would equal 1. I'm just including that because, yes, this is very, just to change this around right now, I have to tear this down and redo the whole thing. So I'm just saying action, moving. And so now we're cleanly breaking. So again, I'm going to just go, this is all in motion. So here we are. I'm going to sit there and kind of have to take this off. Take this off. And take this and put it over here. And take this 5 and put a 5 right there. And yeah, I'm sorry that I got to do this before, but it came, wow, I'm in there. And I'm going to put that in. And I'm going to have to say that it's going to be the same in the NASDAQ. And so I will redo that in the NASDAQ and then put underneath there. Oh, actually, I don't need to do that. I need to go down here and do, oh, come on. Oh, man, get out of here. Yes, I want to close the chat panel. Let me move these over here and this guy over here. And then I'm going to go back out to my 4-hour chart and let's put that other measurement in. And you may question as to where this wave 1 actually is, but I'm going to leave it right where I have it for right now, just to give us some indications. And so go back down to my hourly and start to look at this thing. We have 59.67 up here. That is where wave 5 would equal wave 1. And then we have 61.18. So I think we come in between that. And so we'll be able to continue to put some form around it once it really continues to develop. And I'll be watching this tonight. If they take it from here and they flip it and they whip it back down, I'll figure it out. But right now, because it broke above wave 1, I'm declaring it that the 5 is here. And I don't like it, but I'm going to have to leave it. And that's going to be it. And let me just also think about what do we got coming tomorrow in the way of any economic data on Wednesday. Nothing. So we get a free day away from economics and we can just deal with the reaction from the election results. Thursday, we do have a lot. We have initial jobless claims, U.S. productivity, wholesale inventories, and FOMC. So do expect right now, I think that we're probably going to see the VIX volatility start to release a little bit. Let me just kind of put that over here so I can see where the VIX is kind of coming in. The VIX future is not off as much as you would think. So it's only down 13 cents. And tomorrow is a volatility expiration before the market. All right, that's going to be it. I got to get this published and get this out. I was a little bit late, and I apologize for that. Next update will be on Wednesday, November the 6th.